animals find. I can't promise we're going to find all those animals safe. I promise we're going to do our best to see as many as possible. We usually have pretty good luck. My friends no, please do not fish trucks out into the reserve. Remain seated at all times. This does include any little ones who are lap sitting. When they are walking the lap, taking before they need to stay bottom of the laps, not anywhere else. Please don't lift your little ones up in the air. Pass them around and let them stand on the seat because none of that is sitting. None of that is safe and for everyone's safety. You need to fully seated at all times. This first part of the reserve entry is the middle of cherry forest. Animals here in this part of the marsh will often use camouflage as their main means of defense against predators. On your right-hand side, there is an okapi. It looks like it's going to head this way as we keep on going here. Okapi have black and white stripes on their legs, similar to zebras. They're not related to zebras, though. The okapi's closest living relative is the giraffe. Okapi are solitary animals. Very rarely will you find multiple of them at a time. The most common exceptions are a mating pair or a mother and her young. The okapi was not discovered by the Western world until the year 1901. Until then, the rumors of the okapi were dismissed as myths. There's no way an animal with a head of a giraffe, all the other non-candy legs of zebra could exist, right? Wrong. Discovered in 1901. Since then, we've had to reevaluate our way of thinking. On your left-hand side, you might see our black rhino way in the distance. There's another one right here. That's a black rhino. They can grow to be around 2,000 or 3,000 pounds. They have V-shaped upper lips and open now, meaning they can use their lips to wrap around objects like food and mounds. Over on your right-hand side on the left, those coppery brown animals are bongos. Bongos are oftentimes called the ghosts of the forest. That's because they're able to move about almost silently. Male and female bongos grow horns that tilt backwards at an angle. This helps them move through the underbrush as quietly as possible. Oh yeah, this next reserve we're entering is the Softy River. The Softy River is a watery one. It's home to many different types of animals. Lots of people gather both on the land and in the water. So we're going to have to keep an extra sharp eye out for any animals that could be in either place today. Either in the water or on the land. We will find out. Over on your right-hand side on the land, there's a big gray and white bird laying down. It's a pink-backed pelican. They get their name from the spots of skin on their back, but during mating season, blush. After mating season, pink-backed pelicans take turns nesting on their eggs. On your left-hand side in the water, there are some Nile hippopotamuses. Male hippos can grow to be around 5,500 pounds. And they can eat around 80 or 90 pounds of food per day, which sounds like a lot to us given their size. It's not that much. A group of hippos in the water is called a bloat. Hippos communicate with a series of noises called wheeze honks. They can honk and wheeze in any order. As distinctive as our voices are to us, a hippo's wheeze honk is to them, both above water and below it. The other hippos can tell which hippo is wheeze honking just by the way they honk wheeze. On your left-hand side are some Nile crocodiles. Crocodiles can grow to be about 20 feet long. And if you see one with its mouth open, he is not smiling at you. He's probably just overheated. Crocodiles cannot sweat like you and I can. So when they get too hot, they pull themselves down by opening their mouths and releasing excess body heat out that way. Is a P.O.V tree. P.O.V trees are sometimes called upside down trees. That's because it looks like they're growing upside down. They're able to withstand long periods of drought by storing water in their trunks. And to help conserve water, P.O.V trees only produce leaves about 3 months out of the year, remaining leafless those other 9. This next part of the reserve we're entering is the savannah. It's some of Africa's most famous animals.
Where the lions hang out.
The savannah is very much shaped by the animals that live here. Giraffes with the leaves from the bottoms of the trees. Elephants would just knock down the trees to eat the leaves at the top. And the antelope would eat the grasses. If you look across the trees on the savannah, you might notice that all of the bushes or the leaves coming down are about the same height. That's because the giraffes eat the leaves from the bottom. They keep that nice and trim, as high as they can reach. Over on your left-hand side in the mouth of that cave, there are some African wild dogs. African wild dogs are power-punching animals, and they are the most successful predators in the world, with about 96% of their hunts ending in success. And they're sometimes called painted dogs because of the way their hooves look. That's a good part of the giants' favorite paintings. On your far left side, there are some dark brown animals. Those are sable antelope. Sable antelope are some of the types of antelope that, if threatened, will stand and defend themselves instead of running away. Their horns curve backwards perfectly at an angle, stopping predators from jumping on their backs. They can still use their horns to ram forward in self-defense. On your right and left-hand sides, those funny-looking mounds of dirt are termite mounds. They are hard as concrete but pretty porous to allow termites to move about inside of them. Elephants will often rub their tusks up and down on termite mounds, helping them to file their tusks down and get them into shape. Kind of like how we occasionally over on your right-hand side, there are some giraffes tucked away in the bushes. Giraffes are the tallest animals in the world, capable of reaching heights of about 20 feet tall. And they are the mammals that eat the least amount of sleep. They only need to sleep for around 20 or 30 minutes per day. Are Maasai giraffes. Just like there are different types of other animals, there are different types of giraffes. Maasai giraffes are distinctive for their spot patterns. Some spots jag out, some jag in more types. We're the same, but no one are perfect. It's okay, that just lets us know they're Maasai giraffe. On your right-hand side, those gray animals are white-bearded wildebeest. They're sometimes called gnu, G-N-U. That's for the noise that they make. Kind of make the new noise. On your right-hand side, in the distance, those animals with the big horns are Angola cattle. They're some of the only domesticated animals on the reserve, meaning they can actually live and thrive on farms. Even though their horns are really big, they're not that heavy. They're hollowed and honeycombed on the inside, helping them stay as light as possible. Depending on the size and shape of their horns, they can weigh anywhere from around 5 to 10 pounds apiece. Not as heavy as a gallon of milk. Up and then on your right-hand side, directly behind that rock, there's a elephant. I think this is probably going to be this way we see his face best. Male African elephants can grow to be around 12,000 pounds. Sit down, and they can eat around 300 pounds of food per day. Over on your left-hand side towards the bush, there are some mandrills. Mandrills are a type of a monkey, and if you look closely, they have nubby little tails. Apes do not have tails, and monkeys do, therefore mandrills are monkeys. If you see the bright coloration on his face, just know that when the mandrills get more excited, their coloration gets brighter. And that's so on your right hand side, we're reaching up trying to get something. You can see that African elephant again.
Oh, he's so pretty. He's so pretty, guy. Look at that one. He's so pretty, guy.
Now, since the elephants can eat 300 pounds of food per day, that was getting them into some trouble with farmers over in Africa because the elephants were going on to the farmers' land and eating all their crops they had grown. And that was not a good thing. That was a farmer's livelihood, how they fed their families. They were not happy about that. Wanting to help with this problem, researchers from the Disney Conservation Fund discovered that African elephants are actually very scared of bees. So the researchers flew to Africa, put beehives along the fences on the farmer's land. And now those elephants stay far away. There's plenty of food for them elsewhere, and the farmers have their crops back as well as some extra income from selling the honey that the bees produce. It was a pretty simple and peaceful solution that benefited farmers, elephants, and the bees. On your right hand side, I see some tusk marks in that clay. It's a good sign there are some more African elephants around here somewhere. Well, if need they might try to help supplement their diet to get extra minerals into their system. It's kind of like how we take our vitamins. And as some of those minerals in the clay, specifically one called coltan, that are responsible for elephant habitat destruction in the wild. That coltan is used in everyday devices like smartphones and tablets. So to keep up with demand, so much of it is being mined out of the earth. But it's almost exclusively found where elephants roam. Recycling old smartphones, tablets, and other smart devices is a great and easy way to keep coltan in circulation so it can be used again and again, unless it has to be mined out of the earth. On your left hand side, there are some more African elephants. If you look over your left shoulder towards the giant mountains, behind that you can see a little elephant. Both male and female African elephants grow tusks. That's not all types of elephants, but it is true for the African elephants. They'll both grow them. And their tusks are similar to our grown-up tooth in the way that if they were to fall out, get pulled out, cut out for any reason, they're not going to grow back. It's the female elephants that live in the really big, close-knit herds. Male elephants will often live solitary lifestyles all by themselves. Or they'll form loose herds with other males that are not as big or as close-knit. And those are called bachelor groups. If an African elephant gets too hot, it'll flap its ears. One good ear flap will cool its entire body down about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. On the left-hand side, there are some greater flamingos. They are the lightest pink of all flamingos, but they're not born pink. They're actually born gray. They only develop their color over time as they eat briny shrimp that contain the mineral carotene. It's the carotene that gives them their pink color. So the more they grow, the more they eat, the more carotene gets into their system. And the pinker they become. And they give the flamingos. It's called a flamboyance. Over on your left-hand side, there's a mud pit. Now I know it's not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, but it's pretty important mud, especially for animals like rhinos. Who often wallow in mud like that to cool down. And the mud will stay under their skin acting as a type of sunscreen as well as bug repellent. Like I said, pretty important mud. That being there's an excellent sign there might be some rhinos around here somewhere. Let's keep an eye out and see if we can't find any.
We gotta go throw you in there real quick. Make sure you don't get
See if you're a bigger.
Too much animal activity around here. We'll keep on moving. See what else we can find. Up ahead, that large group of rocks is called a P.O.V. Sometimes lions will use P.O.Vs as perching points to get above the savannah. We'll keep an eye out for prey. Right in the middle over there, there's a male lion. Lions are nocturnal animals, meaning they're most active at night. Sit down. They're not super active out together, though. Please do not whistle at the lions or any animals out here on the reserve. They don't like it. That does include things like whistling noises, kissing noises, hoot and holler, catcalling, anything and everything in between. Thank you. Those lions are nocturnal animals, meaning they're most active at night. They're not super active altogether, though. Out of 24 hours in a day, lions are active for 4 of them. They'll use the other 20 hours to either sleep or sit very still. You want to conserve their energy for the nighttime when they're hunting and need it most. Lions form family groups called prides. The see female lions in the pride that do most of the hunting. So the male lions will usually sit back with the rest of the pride, look after the cubs, and defend their territory. On your right hand side, there are those rhinos we were looking for, as well as some ostriches and a couple of other little antelope. And those rhinos are white rhinos, getting their name not from their color because they're not white, but from the Afrikaans word "weit," meaning wide, and that's referencing their lips. They have very wide and very flat lips, especially compared to other types of rhinos. Those ostriches are the largest birds in the world, but because of their size, they cannot fly. They can run, though. They'll run at speeds of about 40 miles per hour. You can see they don't use their wings for flying. They use them to help steer when they're running at those high speeds.
They got 2 lions stuck in right here.
You just pick out the back side of that male lion over to your left hand side. During the daytime, humans and lions have about the same level of eyesight. But at nighttime, the lion's eyesight becomes 6 times more powerful than ours, making it very easy for them to see and hunt their prey, even in near total darkness. And lions have the loudest roar of any of the large cats. It can be heard for about 5 miles away. Over on the left-hand side, there's a tree. Just laying under the tree, there are some warthogs. Warthogs are very light on their feet. They'll often trot about with their tails straight up in the air. And warthogs are burrowing animals, but they don't like to dig their own burrows, so they prefer to take over abandoned ones left behind by other animals. But pretty much if they fix fixes, they're going to scooch in booty first so their heads and tusks can stick out for extra defense. On your right-hand side, we're going to get a little bit closer to those ostriches, rhinos in the distance. Bontibuck are the little ones with horns and white noses, and the waterbuck is the other animal. Waterbuck are a non-migratory species of antelope. They'll actually spend all year around a water source because they drink a lot of water for an animal their size. Those ostriches will lay eggs in communal nests. Look like there's one up under the tree. Lots of ostrich eggs over there. They're the largest eggs in the world, about the size of a softball. They're very heavy, weighing around 3 pounds apiece. That's equal to around 24 chicken eggs. Please do not make any whistling noises on this reserve. Thank you. Those little animals with horns were the Bontibuck. Bontibuck were almost extinct because in the sunshine, their coats have a very purple and shimmering look to them, and they are so beautiful. People wanted those coats for themselves. They were poaching the Bontibuck. In fact, it was thought that all hope was lost. Those cute little animals would go extinct. Until it was discovered that years earlier, a farmer put a fence around his land intending just to mark his property line. But in doing so, he accidentally kept about 20 Bontibuck inside, safe from poachers and predators alike. Since that happy accident and its discovery, the Bontibuck's numbers have increased so much. They are no longer on the endangered species list. They're back in the wild. Their story gives hope to a lot of other animals who are facing a similar threat of extinction to the one the Bontibuck faced so many years ago. It's also a pretty wonderful and powerful story how one person can make a difference. So thankful that the difference the farmer made is for the Bontibuck's benefit. Alright, my friends, it looks like we're coming towards the end of our safari. Hope you had a really great time today and saw some amazing animals. I know I did. It's been a pleasure being your guide through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Once again, friends, my name is Abby. If you want to learn more about conservation efforts to help protect animals like the ones you saw today, or others out in the wild, please feel free to talk to any villager over at Harambe about the Disney Conservation Fund. They'll be happy to get you some information. Alright, friends, if you want to see some more animals today, head on over towards the Gorilla Falls walking trail. It's up the hill to the right from your departure dock. That's where you're going to find some more amazing African animals like maybe meerkats, mole rats, and of course, over that way you might